Welcome to Smalltalk Daily for Thursday, September 17th, 2009. This morning I'd like to go through something for Windows that I'm going to use Object Studio to build, and that is an interface to Snarl. Snarl is for Windows what Growl is for the Mac OS. It's a little notification scheme. Whenever you send a message to it, it'll pop a notice up, typically in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. I've configured it to put in the upper left so that we can see it. So let's push this over here to the network protocol part. I could have implemented this using either sockets or JSON. I've used sockets because I got a question about this. So all you do is construct little message packets that look like this in this format. It's very similar to JSON, just in its own little format. So that's easy to construct. Then you open a socket, drop the data to it on the right port, and it all works. Now, a couple of things you have to be aware of. I'm going to close this. And that is that before you do this, you really need to go to Snarl, and you need to go into the settings for it. And you need to turn on the listener. If you don't turn on the listener, you'll get a message back from Snarl saying, I'm not listening now. If you do this, it all works fine. So let's get that out of the way, having done that. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to Store. We're going to go to Published Items. What we're going to do is grab the Snarl interface, which matches on that. And you'll see that there's one version of it that I've pushed out yesterday. So I'm going to go and load this. That came in pretty quick, so let's get that out of the way. First, let's take a brief look at the code. Browse System. Now we'll scroll down, and we'll find Snarl Interface. One namespace, two classes. The client is just the client that both connects to it. So if I have my API, I can send the notification message, the register message, the unregister message, and this add class title message. And this just puts out this stuff on the socket. And open the socket, that's pretty easy. You get the socket stream here. I have an external connection, hook it up, and then I return a stream on it. And then to send messages, all I do is take that socket here, get the socket stream, put the message on it, flush it, then take the answer, which in this case is going to be a stream up to the character CR, flush it again, and then close it. Then I just parse the answer, which is a simple matter of creating this result object. And you always get this back in a very convenient little format, so it's easy enough to parse it. So having done all of that, let's take a look at how this works. Let's open up a little workspace. So we'll come down here. We'll open up a workspace that I've already configured for this. And we'll pick this one, Snarl. And now all we have to do here is client, get a new client. So we'll do Smalltalk, execute. And now let's go ahead and register VisualWorks. Actually, let's change this. I did this in VisualWorks yesterday. I'm doing Object Studio today. So let's change this to Object Studio, and then later when I unregister it, it'll do the same thing. So let's go ahead and register the client as Object Studio, Smalltalk, execute. And now up here you see this little message. It told me it registered successfully, so I'll close that. And now I'm going to send a notification telling it, help me Watson with the title of testing. So let's try that out and see how that goes. So we'll do this, Smalltalk, execute. And you see there, testing, help me Watson. That goes away. And now let's try this last one without a title, see what happens, and without a class, so Smalltalk, execute. And it puts up that it came from the application Object Studio, and the message is, this is a test. So that all works pretty nicely. And then I can finally go ahead and close that, and unregister the thing, and we'll get a notification from Snarl that we've unregistered. And it says successfully unregistered. So that's really all there is to it. Writing this is just a simple matter of getting a stream on the socket, putting your message on it, flushing it, and then taking the answer and doing whatever you want with it. So in this case, all I'm doing is going down here to my API, putting these out. In the case of Snarl, the API tells me I have to follow every message with a CRLF, so I do that, and then I just send the message. And it all works pretty cleanly. So that's about all there is to this. It's a simple socket-based API. Using this kind of thing in Smalltalk is very easy. So you see I've hooked up to a Windows-based system trivially. And the nice thing is I wrote this yesterday in VisualWorks on the Mac side. And then I came over here and tested it out in Object Studio on the Windows side. So I wrote it kind of without reference to the thing running. And then I went ahead and brought up Object Studio and tested it out. So that's it for today. Until next time, have fun with Smalltalk.